Welcome to Hair Hero, the podcast where we dive deep into the minds of the best in the business to uncover what makes them tick and sometimes what makes them twitch. I'm your host, Ryan Whedon, founder of Masters of Balayage and creator of Masters Academy. Join me each week for impactful conversations with industry leaders, icons, influencers, and trendsetters. Get ready to be inspired, learn from the pros, and maybe even have a laugh or two. Because let's face it, if we can't have fun talking about hair, we're doing it wrong. Let's get started. Hey everybody, I am excited to have my good friend and also one of my coaches, John Russo, here. He actually wrote a book, like a real book. Look at this thing. This thing, smack somebody with it and it would hurt. This is a great book. Just congratulations on that. Welcome, John. Welcome, John.
Thank you, Ryan. So good to be here with you in studio and always great to spend time with you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I kind of want to dive into the book here because I don't know if anybody's watching that has ever thought about writing a book or been told, hey, you should write a book. We've all heard that at some point in our lives, right? And it makes us think like, you know, I have done something cool in my life that I think is book worthy, but how do you take that from just being this like kind of like unbelievable thing in your head? Like, yeah, that'd be great, but like actually put it into practice and make it a real life tangible reality.
Book, yeah. So I think the book's been such a passion project, Ryan. It's been something I've been wanting to do for probably over a decade. Wanting to share some of the lessons that I've learned, the strategies that I've picked up, and I've been able to teach others in person, but wanted to impact more people by creating something that could have a bigger reach. And I definitely went through moments of imposter syndrome, thinking, who am I to write a book? And do I really have value to add? And I realized what I was doing is I was shining the spotlight on myself, and I was concerned about what people might say about me and my book. And that's not actually my heart. My heart is to serve and to liberate greatness. And the second I flipped that switch in my mind to say, it's not about me. It doesn't matter what people say about the book. If my heart is to serve and I give strategies and frameworks and tools and stories that will resonate with people, then somebody's going to benefit from the book. And that really unlocked me being able to write more freely and just capture some of, you know, the story that I wanted to share with the world.
Yeah.
Initially, I thought I was going to aim for 35,000 words, and I thought, wow, that's going to be a lot. I don't know how I'm going to get to 35,000 words. But once that heart of service came through, and I was getting into the flow, eventually the book ended up being about 55,000 words. So I'm really, really pleased with the outcome and the response that people are experiencing through the book.
That just sounds intimidating, like 35,000, thousands of words on a page, several pages. It's such an accomplishment, and congratulations.
Thanks.
One thing that you said caught me because I felt like this actually this morning, where with being the owner of a company with a lot of moving parts, we have still a very small team, and it's hard to focus on everything all at once. I mean, it's impossible. You know, you have to do one thing at a time, and sometimes I walk in, I'm like, I don't know what to do today, what I should focus on. Which should I focus on that's going to make us money, right? And that's what I kind of get stuck in sometimes. And today I came in, I'm like, wait a minute, no. That's kind of more of a fearful stance, trying to chase the money. How am I going to draw in money when I need to remind myself and ask myself, why am I doing this? I'm doing this to help people. So how can I help the most people today? What problems can I solve for other people? And then that will help steer my focus to help serve people. And then the money comes in that way without having to just go, I'm going to do this, this, and this. So we try to generate an extra 10, 20, 30 grand, whatever it is to benefit the company. But if we reshape it and say, like, how can I help people the most today?
Yeah.
It changes everything.
Absolutely. I mean, find problems that people need solving and solve those problems, add value, add massive value, and you'll be able to derive value. So it always starts by thinking about who you're serving. The other thing to think about is one of the mindsets that I talk about in the book. There's 6 mindsets that I cover, and one of them is to have an abundance mindset. So recognizing that there is so much opportunity out there in the world. There is such a need for you to be able to serve. And somebody has woken up with the resources that you need. So if it is the $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, whatever it is that you want to add to the business, there are people out there that have woken up with those resources that would be happy to give you their time, their talent, their treasure, if you are adding so much value that it makes good sense for them to do that, to part with their well-earned money. So just having that abundance mindset also just frees you up to move away from lack, move away from concerns of how I'm going to make it through the month, where we're going to find the resources we need for the company, and then serve with all your heart, add massive value, derive value.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about adding that value. And we always, as hairstylists, we've questioned our worth before. What are we worth? Or I'm worth more than this? Or how do I determine my worth? And in our industry, there's this stigma that's been around for eons. It's a phrase, just a hairstylist. Oh, you're just a hairstylist. I think almost every hairstylist in the world has not just felt like that at some point, but has actually been told that by somebody, and probably by somebody that they loved and trusted. I know I was. I actually ended up quitting hair for a time because I was with somebody that said, Ryan, you're just a hairstylist. You're never going to become anything. You're never going to be able to support a family. And because I had this mindset like, okay, this like, you know what, I'm going to man up. I'm not going to let this set me back. I also didn't have any proof otherwise that I could make it as a hairstylist. This was a long time ago. This was in the mid 2000s, 2007, 6, 7-ish. So there wasn't social media. There wasn't a lot of visible proof that I could be more than just a hairstylist. You didn't see influencers that were making money, that were doing really well, that you could potentially see yourself doing at some point. So I'm like, you know what? You're right. I don't think I am. I took that very hard because I really enjoyed it. I loved it, but wasn't making money. I didn't have a lot of clients. I didn't see the potential at that time. And I ended up quitting because of her. And after that, it didn't help the relationship. So it didn't work out in the end, that relationship.
Yes.
And I obviously came back to hair and found my path again, found my purpose in a different way with a bigger mindset, a bigger vision, and it changed everything. But it all stems from this feeling that we have at times that I'm just a hairstylist. Oh, you don't deserve to make a lot of money. You're just a hairstylist. Oh, you're just here to serve people and people please and respond to every text message from any client, whether they're happy or sad or want to book on the weekend. You got to give everything for them. And it takes away from who we are. And we feel like we don't have a choice, that we have to do that because it's just the job we chose. We have to give all of ourselves to it. We don't have any boundaries. So how do you tell somebody to just, okay, but you're more than just a hairstylist. You know it's BS, even if you don't quite fully believe it. How do you establish healthy boundaries in your life so your work and what you do doesn't destroy everything else?
Yeah, so a couple of things there to pick up on the boundaries. I'll definitely come back to the boundaries, but just to start with the identity of just a hairstylist. That's a label that at the time you put on yourself, or maybe a lot of the stylists are hearing and they're accepting that to say, well, people perceive me as just a hairstylist, so maybe I am just a hairstylist. As opposed to saying, I am a hairstylist. I am a super stylist. I add massive value for my clients. And if I think about, my stylist that I go to, my stylist helps me with confidence. My stylist helps me with image that I want to portray in the marketplace when I'm serving my clients. They help me with that. They're essential to the work that I do. And especially during COVID, I was encouraging stylists to recognize that they were part of essential services. Like we had, the healthcare and the fire brigade and all the rest of them that serve out there with all of their hearts. I think stylists are essential to our well-being and to the way that we show up in the world. Now, that's an elevated perception I have of stylists that I would love your stylists and your audience to embrace for themselves, that they are essential to people's well-being. And when you embrace that and you take that identity on, it elevates your own perception of yourself. It elevates what you project to your clients, and your clients will feel that when they walk into the salon, they are immediately uplifted because of the way you are to them. They walk out thinking, that was such a great deal, happy to tip, 20, 30%, whatever it is, in terms of I want to just give you more because you've added so much value to me. So that's an identity thing. When it comes to boundaries, if you are always on demand, always available for all of your clients, it actually diminishes the value that you have, because what you're communicating to your clients is, I don't really value my time. I'm happy to prioritize you over anything that's important to me, over my family, over my time for rest. And it diminishes the value in the eyes of your customer. So when you have boundaries in place where you're able to say, happy to see you, the next available appointment that I have is in 3-4 weeks' time, your clients start to condition themselves to say, well, I've got to book earlier. If I want to make sure I'm in Ryan's chair on a regular basis, every single time I'm with Ryan, I need to book for the next appointment so that I'm in the calendar and that's locked and loaded. And then also just to recognize what we spoke about previously about things like making common sense, common practice, taking good care of your sleep and your exercise and your nutrition and your spirit and your environment. Those are things that you can control. Boundaries are exactly like that. And one of my mentors taught me early on that boundaries are only ever frowned upon by the people that have taken advantage of you not having had them in the past. So think about that. Like, people will only criticize you for your boundaries because they've been taking advantage of you not having boundaries in the past. Those that come to know you for the first time and you set clear boundaries will actually respect you for the fact that you have boundaries in place. So just encourage everyone, identity, super important. You're a super stylist, not just a stylist. And to honor your own boundaries, put those in place, because your clients will honor them as well.
I love that. I love that. It's funny too, because you touched on obviously a number of things that are insightful, but it's going back to the hairstylists are essential. It's funny because I've said, well, if you don't get a haircut, it's not gonna kill you, right? You could always put a bowl over your head and cut it, So from a 50,000 foot view, you're not essential, right? Hair cutting, hair coloring is a luxury service. But when you're down in front of a person, you're not just there for a haircut. You're there to feel better about yourself. You're there for the wellness aspect. You're there for the emotional connection. You're there to have somebody, that even a physical touch that hairstylists are allowed to give professionally. You're there for so much more of an experience that from a human to human connection, it is essential.
Yeah, absolutely. I can actually picture myself sitting in the chair and having that moment of exhale where you're like, that feels better. I feel better. And immense gratitude, recognizing that my stylist has helped me with that. So it is such an important part of how we do life. And, especially for all the stylists that are working so hard out there to serve their clients, for you to just remember that and embrace that as, I'm adding massive value here. This is more than just a hairdo or products that I'm providing, products and services that I'm providing for my clients. I'm helping them with intrinsic benefits like confidence, like image, like physical touch, and just care, just genuine care. And when I walk out of the salon and I've experienced that from my stylist, I have such gratitude and appreciation for the work that they do. They are absolutely essential.
It's amazing. And I met you at a Brandon Burchard motivational event. It was called Influencer, which was just incredible. It's such an incredible experience. It was one of the first big, huge events I've been to like that. And you and I got the VIP seats, which basically puts us up closer. We get a couple added benefits like a lunch and some extra. I can't remember if we got like digital courses and things, but it was worth definitely the upgrade. And even just to meet somebody else that was super dedicated and focused on self-improvement, on taking their lives to the next level. And you were a coach before that with Brendan, through a high performance coach before that?
So
after that?
I hadn't certified at that stage. Okay. I had been coaching for a number of years, but pretty much the next month I certified as a high performance coach. So it was amazing to meet you at Influencer. I think just, like-minded, like-spirited. I've actually just got goosebumps thinking about just, we connected and we wanted to spend more time together and understanding each other's businesses and learning and growing together. And we started our mastermind straight after that to keep each other accountable and to support each other. And we brought a few other people into the mix. And it's just been such an incredible journey, a privilege to have been able to coach you as well and help you unlock the next level for Masters of Balayage and help you in your personal life as well. And we've developed such a wonderful friendship from that, So you think about the power of being immersed in environments where you're with like-minded, like-spirited people that have the humility to learn and grow, to take on additional strategies, to get inputs, to get feedback. I think it's just so powerful. And any opportunity like what we did, where we did the upgrade and we were in the VIP section, you know that you're going to be interacting with people operating at a different level. That's what I wanted. I wanted to be challenged. I wanted to be stretched. When I heard what you were doing with your business, my eyes were like, that's amazing. I need to learn from Ryan and take that on board. And we met so many other great people that were also operating at different levels. Some ahead of where we were at the time, some further behind in the journey, but no comparison, more just like, what can we learn? How can we help? How can we serve each other? Incredible start to our friendship.
On that, I want to talk about the importance of coaching, finding a coach. I think that's also one of those, you think it's expensive, and yes, it can be very expensive to find a coach and being part of a coaching program. But how valuable is it to have a coach? I mean, I know it's invaluable. I know that from experience, whether it's a business coach, a personal development coach, a fitness coach. I mean, but I want to hear it from you. You've been coaching for a very long time. You've been coached for a very long time.
Yeah.
And for people that really want to take it to that next level, because I know we have a lot of high achievers watching, how important is it for them when it's affordable, when they like to stretch themselves a little bit to make coaching possible in their life?
Coaching is by far the quickest way to help you achieve your goals. So with Liberate Your Greatness, I talk about achieve your goals faster, accelerate your growth, amplify your impact. Coaching gets you there in the fastest way possible, because a coach is someone that has been there, done that, seen best practice. They're interacting with people, operating at a level that you want to operate at, and they will provide perspective that is incredibly valuable. So if you picture yourself playing any sport, let's say tennis, for example, your backswing, how you play, how you turning the racket over the ball, how that impacts the spin of the ball. Your perspective is very different holding the racket versus if a coach is standing perpendicular to you saying, hey, you're leaning too far backwards or too far forwards, and your backswing is too short, or you're overswinging. All those little details, those minor tweaks, make major impact. And without a coach, you could probably figure it out over a period of time, but it's going to be costly in terms of your time, costly in terms of your resources, costly in terms of opportunity cost. You will make mistakes that you don't need to make.
Right.
And a coach will pick it up for you sooner than later. I still have a number of coaches that input into my life where I'm getting their perspective, I'm getting their challenge, I'm getting their push. I'm getting coaches that will say to me, hey, you could operate at a higher level than that. And that's what I want to be able to do for my clients as well, is push them to see opportunities that they aren't seeing, validate who they are. Even that's powerful when you come to a coach and the coach validates that your ideas are true and valid, your emotions are true and valid. And at the same time, they then push you and challenge you to even greater levels of success and impact. So coaching is critical. It's one of those things that it will stretch you to invest in a coach, but whatever level of coaching you can get now, I'd encourage people to get that coaching now and constantly elevate. You'll see that it becomes part of your life. Every professional sportsman and woman out there has a coach or a team of coaches.
Right.
They crave feedback because they know that feedback's a gift. So even just having the humility to get feedback and inputs, I've seen with all of the clients that I've served, those that have that humility and embrace the principles that I'm teaching, they go to the next level. Those that think, yeah, I know this, I've got it, and I can't learn anything new, don't learn anything new, and therefore don't go to the next level. Yeah.
Well, that also brings up accountability. And when you pay for something, you pay attention.
Absolutely, yeah.
And the accountability of it, I can personally account for. Well, you have an appointment, and it's not just you setting an appointment, like I'm going to start working on this at 2 p.m. and then life happens and 2 p.m. comes and goes, and because you didn't really have any accountability, even though you might have wanted to do it, like say I'm going to get really good at the guitar and I'm going to play guitar from 2 to 2:30 every single day. 2 comes around and you're just like, I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
But if you say you had a guitar lesson at 2 o'clock to 2:30, whatever it is, and you're paying for it, most of us don't like to just throw money away. You're just like, whatever, I
Totally.
don't feel like it, but I'm going to show up because I'm paying for it. And you're going to feel better after you did that. It's like the gym. I've been going to a trainer because thankfully I can afford a trainer. He's not the highest paid trainer on the planet, so it's affordable for where I'm at. And I go 3 times a week. And I tell you, almost every morning before I go, I'm just like, I wish I didn't have to go today.
Yeah.
Because I know he's going to kick my ass.
Exactly right. Exactly.
I know I'm going to be doing things I wouldn't do on my own.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, I'm going to be exhausted and drained. But I got to tell you, when I'm done with that workout, I am so glad that I did it. I'm so glad every time. And the results, I mean, look at that. No, I just feel better. I used to have chronic neck injury and shoulder pain and things, and it's gone. Like I don't have that anymore because I've been going regularly for so many months in a row, and something I want to continue in my life to keep me accountable.
Totally. And the science will tell us that our brains are wired to avoid pain. So if we're working out by ourselves and we're feeling like, okay, we're getting tired, our muscles are fatigued, our brain's saying, you should probably wrap this up now. You're pretty much done.
Yeah.
And when our brain's telling us that, our body could probably go for much longer. We're probably at around 60% capacity, but our brain's telling us you're at about 90% now. So what a coach will do for you is say, come on, you can do more. And we'll blow the whistle on you and say, you can do 10 more push-ups, just go. And because they're holding accountable, you'll get through at least another 3, 4, 5, maybe the full 10. And to even just get you to the gym in the first place. I had a personal trainer once who we used to train at 5 a.m. in the morning. And I woke up one morning, I was like, I'm just not feeling it today. So I sent him a text message. I said, hey, listen, I'm not feeling well. And I gave this long story, and I could just see, the typing indication. and he said, John, get your ass out of bed and get to the gym. So I did. So I got to the gym, and he says, first of all, don't waste my time. Second of all, don't waste your money. And he said, if you want to be extraordinary, you got to put in extra time and extra effort.
Yeah.
And I've embraced that as one of my principles, that I want to be extraordinary. I want to, not necessarily that people call me extraordinary, but I want to be a person of extra time, extra effort, extra love, extra care, extra attention to detail. I want to be an extra mile person.
Yeah.
And that requires us to think at a higher level. So just the power of accountability through coaching.
Yeah. It reminds me, I was doing this preacher curl the other day with the trainer. It's like if you lean over this and you got to dump a barbell, and I was doing this, right? And I got to like 10 or something, and I was like, get up there just like this. Yeah. And my brain's telling me like, okay, you're pretty much done. He's like, one more. And I'm like, balayage. It doesn't matter how you pronounce it. Your clients just want to know that you're good at it because they're paying a lot of money for your service. Sure, you can take a class here and there, search on YouTube, learn a hack here and there on Instagram, but it's never going to be enough because to excel at balayage, you need structured learning with experts that have been where you are and can show you how to reach your goals. Hi, I'm Ryan Whedon, founder of Masters of Balayage and one of the first balayage experts to bring modern balayage to millions. And right now, Masters Academy, the #1 online trainer for balayage artists, is now offering lifetime memberships. That's right, no more monthly payments, no more overdrafts, just a one-time payment, and you can get over 100 hours of balayage and blonding tutorials on demand to watch and rewatch on your time. Our new Masters Academy lifetime membership also includes our 3 world-famous certification programs, the Balayage Masters Program, the Blonde Masters Program, and the Extensions Masters Program. Not only do you get to own all 3 of these now, you also get Master Certified. So if you're stuck, lacking that balayage confidence, or just need an awesome excuse to raise your prices, Masters Academy is the answer. And right now, you can save $100 off any lifetime membership. Just go to www.mobmastersacademy.com and use code MYLIFE at checkout to redeem your $100 off promotion. I'm gonna say it again, so go grab a pen and write this down. Go to www.mobmastersacademy.com and use code MYLIFE and redeem your promotion now. He's like, one more. I'm like, it's like, one more. I'm like, my brain's, I don't want to do anymore. My body's not letting me stop. My body kept going. As much as I'm like, I am so done. The lactic acid's building up. Like, I want this to be over.
Yeah.
But I still got more in me. And if I didn't have that coach push me for that extra 5,
yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't have known I was capable of it, and I wouldn't have the same results in the end from being able to increase strength over time.
Exactly. And a coach will see that from an objective perspective. A coach will see what you're actually capable of rather than what you think you're capable of. And if you think about blowing up a balloon for the first time, it stretches, and you think it's going to burst, but it stretches, and when you release the air and blow it up again, it quickly goes back to that capacity because it's learned, oh, that's my new capacity. I can do that. So what you're experiencing now with your preacher curls is you can do more reps than what you thought you could do previously. Any exercise, whether it's pull-ups, the minute you get to that threshold where you've been able to do more than previously because a coach has pushed you, you now know that's my new capacity. It's my new baseline. Exactly right. So it's incredibly powerful to have that challenge, that push, that perspective, the expertise that comes with coaching. If you think about, we're experts in our own area of expertise. A coach in a particular discipline is working with people all day, every day, seeing those particular things. They know what the challenges are. They know what the do's and don'ts are. They can help you accelerate your journey and your learning curve rather than you having to figure it out for yourself.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. I love it. All good. One last thing I want to touch on is when I met you, you've always been in fantastic shape. And you created a business around high performance. Fit for Growth is your company. About the importance of tying the two together, about fitness, wellness, business success, personal life success. Like, how important is it that you've noticed in your life and other people's lives about not going all in on your business if it's going to sacrifice your own health, and how leveraging your health is only going to help your business?
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. I think it takes daily discipline and daily conditioning to eat well, to get the right amount of sleep, to exercise. And what I've seen in organizations that I've worked with in 33 countries around the world, where they talk about people being their greatest assets, but people are burning out, and they're achieving at all costs, and it's the cost of their health, it's the cost of their relationships. And I experienced in my own life where we lost my dad to suicide because he was overweight. He was, working incredibly hard. He was stressed and had lost the mental capacity. And that's a disease. It's a mental health disease linked to a physical health that wasn't, prime or optimized. I lost my mother to cancer as well. So health is it's a passion point of mine. And I've realized when we get that right, when we are thriving personally because we're taking good care of our well-being and what I call MEPS well-being, mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being, then it helps us thrive in our professional lives as well. We have more energy to chase our goals. We have more clarity. We have more focus. Sometimes if I haven't exercised for 2 days and I get a little bit of brain fog, my wife knows to say to me, get your trainers on, hit the road, go to the gym, do what you need to. The second I'm out there and I'm getting some fresh air and I'm moving, I start feeling better. I start feeling clearer. I'm a better husband. I'm a better father. I'm a better coach. I'm a better entrepreneur when I've had good exercise, when I've had good nutrition. So it's absolutely critical. And with a lot of the leadership training that I do, I'll kind of tease people saying, what are the 4 things you must master when it comes to your leadership ability? And they'll say things like, vision and communication skills. And I'll say, no, it's your sleep, your exercise, your nutrition and environment. Typically in a corporate environment, I won't necessarily always speak about spirit, but I do think that's the 5th element, which is absolutely critical, and hence the acronym Make Common Sense, Common Practice. So when we get that right, it helps us thrive in our personal lives. We thrive in our professional lives, and I've been blessed to build a business around it that allows me to share my passion and help people succeed at various elements of their life.
It's amazing. Yeah, I was when I started to set up my training appointments for the gym. The times he had were I drop my kids off in the morning, and I drop them off about 8 or so, and my session started at 9. I go 3 times a week, so it's like 9 to 10, good solid hour that I'm there. So I'm not getting into work until like, if I shower after that at like 10:30, so I'm starting my work day at 10:30. Ideally, I'd love to do like a 5 a.m. or something, but right now in my season of life with the young kids, it's not possible. And initially I was so worried about like, I'm kind of just like working part-time half the week. Like, how is this going to affect my business because I also like to be there for dinner, to help out with dinner with the kids after school, and be as active of a father as I can while still running a business here. So I didn't know how that would affect things. If I'm going in there, I'm like, I only got like 4 hours today, 3 times a week. Like, I hear about all these high-powered CEOs that are like, I did a 20-hour week or 20-hour day, and I barely sleep. And I'm like, I feel like I should be doing that. But then I realized once I got into the habit of going to the gym, getting this done, I actually had more productive days.
100%. And that you took the words right out of my mouth, in the sense that when you exercise, it's counterintuitive because we think we don't have time to exercise. But if you're time poor, you must exercise. It'll make you more productive. Mm-hmm. You will have more energy. You'll have more focus to get through the important things. And it'll also just make you more deliberate and more intentional with your time. Because I guarantee a lot of people that are out there thinking, I don't have time to exercise. If we zoomed into their calendars, we would see what their priorities are. Mm-hmm. If we spoke about how much time are you scrolling on social media, we would see what their priorities are. Yeah. But if you're being intentional about exercising, you're saying, well, I got to cut certain things out if I'm going to fit the exercise in. You start to eliminate the time wasters, the Netflix, the social media, and you prioritize your health. You become more productive. And, as we both know, we're just better at home and at work when we've had exercise. So it is counterintuitive, but it's about making sure that you're putting it in as a big rock. It's an important thing. Your relationships are important. Your health is important. Take your health away and you've got nothing, right?
Right.
There's that famous saying that, somebody can have a million dreams, but if you take away their health, they've only got one dream, and that's to be healthy. So it's critical. It's absolutely critical.
One day I want to have as many one-liners as you. One day I'll work on that. But dude, thanks for the conversation. Thanks for adding so much value to people's lives and impacting everyone you meet.
My absolute pleasure, Ryan. It's so good to thank you. So good to spend time with you here in San Diego at the Mob studio. I appreciate you. I appreciate the value that you add to me and my life and everybody that you serve. We're blessed to have you doing the work that you're doing. So thank you that we could share this time together today.
Thanks, everybody. Be bold, be brave, be you. Thanks for tuning in to Hair Hero. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a 5-star review. It helps us reach more listeners just like you. And don't forget to screenshot this episode and share it on Instagram, tagging us at Masters of Balayage. We'd love to see your posts and share them. Until next time, remember, be bold, be brave, be you. See you in the next episode.